Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Ogre Battle, March of the Black Queen. In our last episode we had just finished the Sharam district here, so we're going to return back to it to talk with the people in the temples and the cities. We'll learn a little bit more about the history of the area, and then once we finish that, we have a choice to either go to the Pogram Forest, which is the map on the left, or the Lake Jannnenia. On the in the right. So that guy just basically told us that, hey, good tactic is hit and run, but remember, if you run from battle, every character in that unit will lose 1 point to their charisma score, but it's better than having one of your units die, so at least especially the way that I'm playing. So another village, another city here. You would usually want to raise most of your characters from level 1. Not only will they cheaper that way, but their statistics will grow higher. That's true for the most part, but there are some characters that we want to recruit that won't be level 1. Like in Lake Jannnenia, we can get Raven Men there, level 5. Normally you couldn't promote a Raven Man from a Hawkman until level 12. Have you heard about the 5 heroes who unified the continent? If you ask the witch Babalo, I'm sure she'll tell you about it. She lives in Anatolia. Huh? Anatolia? That's the city in the forest to the south of us. But yeah, so they'll be in an advanced class for 7 levels earlier, so they'll be getting those advanced stat gains. So yeah, those Raven Men you get from Lake Jannnenia, they're really, really good. So welcome to our temple. Oh, not much to sell there. Yeah, we're just gonna loop around here. One of the good things about using your lord as a flying unit, talk as soon as I get out of this city here. King Gran and 2 sons, Prince Jan and Prince Tristan. Unfortunately, they were both killed in the war 25 years ago. You want to have a lord with a flying unit so you can come visit all these cities basically in one go. Now, when you a lord, he doesn't cost anything. His unit doesn't cost anything to deploy. It's deployed for free, but it. Welcome to a temple. We thank the rebels for chasing out the Empire's forces. The people of Jannnenia are relying on the rebellion. Good luck. But yeah, when it turns to a day and your tributes come in, you don't get tributes from a map that you cleared, but you do get charged for the units that are out. So thanks to the Liberation Forces, the land of Sham has returned to its former glory. Why Liberation Forces? Ha ha ha. Nobody in this town calls you the rebels anymore. So yeah, Orpheus' unit will be charged come the next day. So you want to be able to come into these maps, visit all the towns in one day so you're not losing any money. So. The rebels, are you having money problems? No, we're doing good. So, look. And here we'll look. But there's the center of the Zenobian Empire is the Northern Highlands. The Imperial army is led by the Empress and Endor's oldest son, Gars. There are also 4 divas, the Overlord and the Overlord, who protects the Empress. So yeah, they when they told us where that witch lives, they gave the wrong city. So. Well, here's the city here we're gonna go to. Babalu, I'm the great witch Babalo. Did you come here to see me? Yes, what do you want to ask me about? Yeah, let's ask about the 5 heroes. It all started 80 years ago. Jannnenia was split into numerous small kingdoms. Those kingdoms were in an almost constant state of war. The land was destroyed. People starved. The war escalated until even demons and foul beasts were also fighting. And then 5 youths appeared to restore peace to our land. Roshian, Prince of Sharam, the Prince's aide, Gran, the monk Avalon, Labian, the Beastmaster Darkus, and the greatest wizard on the continent, Rashidi. In only 10 years, these 5 youths restored peace to the entire land. But now Rashidi is evil. Remember from the intro? The people hailed these 5 as the saviors of Jannnenia, and they were called the 5 heroes. I'm the great witch Babalu. Did you come here to see me? Yes. No. Well, if you don't need me, don't call me. Okay. We just have to keep coming back here. And we're gonna see all the different dialogue that she gives, so... Let's ask her about Jannnenia. Before the Jannnenia Empire, in the era of King Zenobia, there were 5 kingdoms. First, the kingdom of Zenobia in the east was the most bountiful. Along the Black Sea Pole, in the south was the kingdom of Hawaii. In the west was the kingdom of Orpheus. There are many imperial bases there. And finally, to the northwest is the snow-covered highlands. That is the center of the empire. Surprisingly, they said there's 5 kingdoms, but they only listed 4 there, so... I guess another weird translation thing. Like I said, they, when we went to the city, Vanu up there to the north, they said, hey, go see the witch in Anatole, but that's like the I guess the Japanese name, and then when they translated it here, that was Lenican, so... Well, as you can see, I changed up a few of my units. I changed my units. I'm gonna change some of these characters here. Need a few more wizards. So, we'll make some wizards because eventually we'll want to make some sorcerers out of them. But, I changed up my units. Trying to get more of the Amazons up to level 4 so they can become clerics. Some of these fighters should be getting lots of good experience because they're level 2. Most of the enemies that we'll be fighting in Lake Jannnenia are level 5. So they should be getting good boosts to their charisma and alignment if they defeat any of those enemies, which will be good if we're going to send them down the good path to make them knights. So this scenario, it's a little bit easier than the Pogram Forest. Pogram Forest has undead. We want to have as many clerks as we can for that map. And another thing about the Pogram Forest, it's really, really big. This is still a smaller map. There's going to be 11 enemy units, but for reference, in the Pogram Forest, there are 26 enemy units. So, yeah, more than double the amount of enemies in that map. But the enemies there are similar in level. They'll be like, you know, level 5 or so. The undead will be a little bit higher, but... So we're just going to deploy our units around this way. We're going to use a similar strategy that we used in Sharam, where we are going to be sending our units to kind of total around the town up there. And we're going to send that one octopus unit into the lake. And that will be like the flanking unit. So, the enemy is going to send their characters mainly around that road, across from the base, and then south toward the town that we just liberated there. And if they get injured, they're going to want to retreat back to the town to the northeast there. There's only one real flying unit. Hey, so you're the rebels, huh? Seems you're really a thorn in the Empire's side. Not bad. But there are some good guys in the Empire, too. The local boss isn't too bad himself. He's a great guy. So don't push yourself too hard on beating the Empire. Just take it easy. Oh yeah, if you want to see the boss, you need to go at night. He's always in a better mood than, oops, gotta go. My girl's waiting for me. See you tonight. Maybe the boss here is like Gilbert. You know, he's just allied with the Empire to save his people. But yeah, there's going to be one flying unit, and that's probably going to come across the water. Everyone else is land unit, and they're going to be following the path of that knight and that wild men are doing there, so... Now, some of these battles are going to be kind of hard because, like I said, our characters are under-leveled, so they'll be taking a little bit of damage, but we should be okay if we keep following the same strategy here. We'll use the strength card here. Kind of a physical unit there. We got 6 attacks that the Hellhound there will have to endure. And with no healer, just gonna raise his defense there with that strength card, so. Of course, if we manage our tactics, You know, it might be tough to win the first few times, but as we slowly chip away at individual units, characters in the units, they'll be a little bit easier because we'll be reducing the amount of attacks that they do to us. So there'll be a lot of, you know, retreating, losing battles, healing up in towns, but that's where we deployed all these units. So and that unit took, that Hellhound took kind of a beating there. So we'll retreat him back and send in our night unit, which should fight a little bit better here during the day. So knights tend to have that higher alignment. So it's gonna be a tricky, I was gonna say a trucky, a tricky little formation there because the leader is in the front row. So it'll be tough to eliminate the Amazons, especially the one in the back left there, because she's kind of being blocked by the unit leader. Once you eliminate the Amazon in the front right there, we'll be able to reach the one in the rear right, but until then, the one in the back is going to be pretty tough. But that's why we have that octopus unit there in the water, not to just cut off their one flying unit, but also, like, if that unit is defeated and becomes a skull, we can have the octopus unit cut it off at kind of one of the bridges there. So, and dude, let's see here, Diaz. So here's the one flying unit, bunch of hawkmen. So let's use a lover's card. This will, like, Cupid will come down, shoot an arrow, and it could confuse. So it'll confuse 3 of the 4. That ain't bad. So now they will just be fighting themselves. So we only have to worry about one attack, the hawkman in the rear who wasn't. So I'm going to set my tactics to weak there, because I really don't have to worry about them damaging me. They're only going to have one attack. When you set your characters to weak, they take more damage when they're hit, but their offense increases. So we'll be doing more damage to them. So it's since we have so little worry about our defense, because we're only going to be at most enduring one attack. We'll just put our characters on offensive mode so they can do the most damage. And they did pretty good there, wiping out 2 of the hawkmen, but unfortunately, that might not have been for the best, because, hey, now they're at 50% strength or less, so they're going to retreat back to that town to try to heal themselves up, but it's alright. We'll eventually get them, so. Put our tactic on strong here, because when you put them on strong, we do less damage to them, but they do less damage to us. So it's better for us to play defensively because we're not going to be using items. So now if you were using items and you can heal between battles, you know, hey, go for it. Or if the witch would have stunned a whole bunch of characters at first, and we wouldn't have to worry about their counterattacks, yeah, then you would want to go to a heavy offensive weak tactic. But right now, we're just playing defensively, slowly whittling these guys down, so doing a little bit better than what I would have thought, but no. But this will be mainly our tactics, so this might be a tough unit to crack, because the golem's gonna, not take a lot of damage. So this would be a good unit for that wizard to fight, because remember, golems have really weak defensive properties against magic. Physical, though, they're pretty much tanks, so. So now that they're all stunned, we could probably have changed our offense to weak to do a little bit more damage to that golem, but I guess it's a good thing we didn't, because we woke him up when we hit him there, and he came back with 2 punches, so. Well, we can have our knight little hang out there now. He can heal up, and we can have, wizard is still healing, so. But we have 2 more units there, and they only have to hold off the enemy for a little bit longer, because that Hellhound is almost full. So it'd be nice if we can hold them off until nightfall, and then that wizard unit can come out, and the wizard unit could, do some good healing. I mean, do some good damage to, like, the golem if they fight it. And the wizard unit will fight better at night, because low alignment. Remember what that one town said. Characters with low alignment fight better. In the night, they do more damage, take less damage. And conversely, characters with good alignment will do worse at night. They'll take more damage, do less damage, but the daytime, their properties are reversed. High alignment characters do better in the day, do more damage, take less damage, and the low alignment characters will be taking more damage and inflicting less damage. So the enemy's getting a pretty good push here toward our units here. So maybe want to use a card here. Justice. Now golems are weak against magic, but they're weak mainly against fire. So judgment is, justice is an ice-based attack. So it shouldn't. Like I said, I played my hand there, and in the hope that it wouldn't wipe out that golem and get the experience to Orpheus, and I played it right. So if I would have used like a magician card, which is fire elemental, that would have probably wiped out the golem. But tower cards, remember, they're based on your opinion leader. So in this case, Orpheus's stats. So since it'll deal damage based on his intelligence. And then for physical cards, like say the chariot, which does physical damage, that's based on his strength. So let's see what we can do here. Move it to the strong. And may need to use that priestess card a little bit later, depending on how much damage these folks do. So Amazons are pretty neutral, so they shouldn't be affected too much by the time of the day. But that wild man there, the unit leader, and that's an evil unit, so that'll be should be hitting hard. So yep. And unfortunately, we stunned after pretty much. The stun is pretty much useless now because they. Oh, we got a draw there. Hey, that's an interesting thing. Didn't expect that. But on the draw, both units basically act as if they lost, so they both retreat. So, but even though we retreated there, we pushed their unit back too. So, and I think we've held them up for long enough that we should be able to have our Songs' unit here with the Hellhound should be pretty much full up. So let's see. Yeah, the Hellhound's pretty much at full. So let's see here. And the only problem is we're going to be going after the leader with the strong tactic, but the only one who can really attack the leader right now is the wizard. So, too bad we couldn't. I should have had it. In fact, too bad I didn't have it on the weak. I could have took out that one soldier at the front. So, there we go. Yeah, see, it did 10 damage before, but now with the weak tactic, it ended up doing 13. So, yeah, offensive raised up a little bit. So. Yeah, we did some good damage there with this thing. Yes. Emperor card will give us all an extra attack, so just going to use this because that way we can probably finish this unit off here. So now I have that octopus unit trying to sneak in the back to do a flanking maneuver, but they're not really in place yet. They're still making. So if I would have wiped out that unit, probably what would have happened was they would have retreated, and I wouldn't be able to block them off. So. Might as well spend that tower card. I'm going to be getting a lot more when I draw from the towns that I liberate here. So let's reposition our units. I'll put that Hellhound in the back just for now. We're obviously going to want to put the Hellhound back up front then, where it has 3 attacks and one of the clerics to the back row to heal. But until we can actually have that unit hang out in the town to recover, we probably want to just put the clerics in the front to save that Hellhound from taking damage from physical attacks. Would not be a good unit to fight this unit though, because both the Valkyrie, which is the female class, and the back left, the leader class, and the wizard there can attack anywhere on the battlefield with their spells. The Valkyrie has 2 lightning spells. So, and the Valkyrie, they are, as I recall it, they are an advanced, they're kind of the fighting class, the advanced fighting class of the Amazon. So, at level 5, you can transform an Amazon into a Valkyrie. And we'll be doing that eventually later, but we might actually change some of the, maybe a cleric to a Valkyrie, so. Now they'll have one level as a cleric where they'll gain some pretty good intelligence rather than strength. But, you know, Valkyries can use both strength and intelligence. In the front row, you want to build up their strength, obviously, because they will be using their spears to attack, strength-based. But in the back row, they're an intelligence build. So, unfortunately, we're having Orpheus and his unit fight here, but we really had no choice because other units were kind of healing and in the way, so. But we didn't kill anyone, so we didn't get a whole bunch of experience. So, now we can probably have Orpheus maybe retreat back a little bit, let the other units get some get their experience. So, let's take off that mystic thing, because normally, like I say, we don't want Orpheus' unit doing fighting. So, that stat booster item, the rod, the mystic staff there. Probably better served on another unit, so. Alright, it's nighttime. Let's see if our Hellhound does a little bit better here. So. Now, a lot of times when we're fighting cleric, units, you want to put your tactics on weak. Because if you keep focusing on the strong, you're going to keep splitting your attacks to the newest strong member, and the cleric's just going to keep healing them, so. This might be a good opportunity to, like I said, put it on weak tactics. So, even though we'll be taking a lot of damage, but we want to try to get rid of, you know, at least maybe one of those giants, because they are going to have 3 attacks like the Hellhound there does in the front. So yeah, now we got rid of that one giant, so we can concentrate all our fire on the other giant. We can move back to strong. And I used that tarot card at the beginning. Clerics, their weakest defensive stat is against physical attacks. So the Chariot is a physical-based attack, and so that did a lot of damage to the cleric at first. That made the cleric want to heal herself. The cleric will always heal the person who has the lowest hit points in the unit. So. Which can sometimes be a pain, like especially for like golem units, because golems by default have really low hit points. And if your golem might only be like, say, have 52 out of 55 hit points, so they're only missing 3 hit points, and then you have another unit that's like missing like 50 hit points, but the cleric will, but it might have, you know, currently 56 hit points, so the cleric will heal the golem for 3 hit points rather than the other guy for you know, a whole bunch more hit points. So yeah, that can be kind of annoying, but you know, you only have so much control that the tactics give you, and clerics are automatically set to want to heal whoever has the lowest hit points, not the lowest percentage of their hit points remaining. So just going solely by numbers, not on percentages. So and we got lucky there. We pushed that unit away, so now we just gotta focus our other unit there. Keep him from getting back to that town. Well, Orpheus unit met again, and unfortunately that wild man is retreating back to that town, so we didn't get that octopus unit in back in place in time, so dope. Yeah, there goes the wizard. Yeah, we should be able to defeat this unit here. We got another attack with the samurai, another with Canopus there, and then Orpheus is hit all attacks. So as long as the samurai don't miss, we should wipe out this unit. So, but Orpheus hasn't gained a level at all, so he should gain actually some pretty decent stats there. He should get some charisma and alignment for winning that battle against higher level enemies. So, Well, this is nice. Where our octopus unit is in the water, so that's good. We'll have a terrain. We'll fight better in terrain. Now they won't take any penalty for fighting in the water because they're a flying unit. But it's still good that we're fighting them over water because we get a little bonus to the terrain because our unit is a water unit. Because the octopus is the largest unit in there, and it's giving us that water terrain type. So we're gonna be fighting a little bit better here. So that fighter's taking a lot of damage, but he should be able to withstand another attack from the Beastmaster. I think that's the only one who has a target left. So I'll throw another Emperor card up here, just to be safe. We don't want to lose this battle, and there's a possibility we might have lost it there. I wasn't keeping track of all the damage, but we definitely didn't want to lose. Yeah, and unfortunately lost it anyway, because now we're going to be retreating back, and they'll be able to go to that town and recoup their losses, that city. They're not really towns, because they have... When you click on the town, or the city, I was saying they're not towns, but then I just call it a town. There's populations there in the thousands, so now I want to just focus on strong here, just because right now the giant has the most hit points, and then we went to weak, but then the cleric healed. So we're just gonna make sure we want to always be attacking that giant, because the cleric can't do any damage to us. So once we eliminate that giant, it'll be finished. Now notice that when we hit the cleric there with the Ankh, she glowed green a little bit. That shows that the cleric's attack there was white elemental. So Songs are gonna have to hang out there in this town, heal up a little bit, and then we can rotate our characters around a little bit. So there you saw that exchange character option that we had. So we could switch with another unit that's in that town. So making him a fighter. And what can we make it? A Doll Mage or a Wizard? We don't have any Doll Mages. Let's make a Doll Mage here. So the Doll Mage, we saw them with the enemy unit. That does a hit all acid attack, which is kind of a physical attack. So, but this is what the map is looking like so far. We're gonna have to come back in our next episode and continue to take out the Empire's forces. Take care. Hope to see you soon. Bye.